take today's hot topics, weigh them against the Word of God, because God does have a view. Have you heard about the theaters in Beijing where you're watching a movie and there's, you know, a lot of times they tell you to cut your phones off. But these people, no, you keep them on and you're able to text or social media anything you're thinking about the movie, and it goes on the screen. So every person in the theater gets to see what you're thinking about every scene in the movie. Is that good or is that a distraction?
Wow, I don't know what to think about that. There's pros and cons to everything. I think they're more pros for social media. I mean, it's a bridge, it's a connector for communication. You know, I mean, you know, people are saying that you're not communicating face to face, but if you're in New York and I can't see you, at least I can contact you, you know, through social media.
It. Yeah, but at least in a movie theater, I think that would be so distracting. I agree.
Oh, no,
it's definitely for connection, and I think that's obviously why they're doing it. But can you imagine sitting there and trying to watch a movie, and then half of the screen is showing comments that people are...
I'm too ADD. I would not be able to pay attention to the movie and the stuff that was on the screen. It would not be a connecting factor for me. I would disconnect right there.
One of the articles I read said that 18 to 29-year-olds, 88 text messages a day is the average of what kids are doing. Wow. Are your kids texting like that? Or?
Well, you know, my son actually not anymore, because when he was on Facebook, I have social media police. You know, and anything my children are involved in.
Are you the police?
I'm one of them. I have undercover agents that, you know, my friends who help me with my children. If they see something, they know to call me. And my son actually had something that was inappropriate on, you know, Facebook. They were doing this, you know, text signals or something. You know, they have a different language.
They do have different language.
She notified me, and I talked with him, and actually had him get back on Facebook, and he had to tell everyone that he is on punishment because he was speaking inappropriately, and his mom doesn't teach him to speak that way.
Good for you,
and
Mama.
so that he will
Good
be
for
off.
you.
He's not on Facebook. Well, actually, I don't think he even talks on Facebook anymore. I don't wonder why.
But Elisa, that's great.
You embarrassed him. That's why. That's all it takes is embarrassing them. That's good.
Well, I do think that you've got to have boundaries. And all of us, even as adults, we've got to have boundaries with Facebook and social media, Twitter, all of it, because you can actually get really addicted to it. I mean, I do. I've seen people worse than me. I've seen people much better than me. But if we don't take time to cut it off, you hear that ping. You hear, you know, oh, I've got a Facebook message, or I've got emails come through, and it's almost this instant. You've got to check it out.
About it, though, I mean, with Facebook, I mean, so many people have found one another. You know, how many of your classmates have you found, or, you know, your childhood friends or just family that have connected through Facebook? I think that, you know, like I said, it has more pros than cons. I mean, it's just based on how someone uses the social media, but I think that it's just a great, I'm a big communicator. So, you know, with a busy schedule, it's just very easy for me to be able to talk to you, to get information, and I just think it works, you know.
The study that I read said that 49% of people would prefer texting than regular talking, and I was really bothered by that, because I would rather hear a voice myself, and occasionally a text here in a hurry, but I just miss out on a voice. I miss that voice connection, and I think sometimes text can be misinterpreted. You have to be, somebody could write down sure, like sure, that's okay, or sure, and you could take it wrong. And sometimes I think you just need, if you can't do a face-to-face, a voice-to-voice.
Yeah. My dad was a pediatrician for 40 years, and the American Academy of Pediatrics just came out with a study that said that kids should spend no more than 2 hours a day with any kind of media, because it is causing a lot of attention deficit disorder and sleeplessness at night, and a lot of other physical problems that kids are running into as a result of it.
It activates the dopamine. There's dopamine chemical in our system that when we're seeking something, or we are desiring something, or waiting on, we're anticipating something, our brains dump this dopamine, and you end up getting this dopamine loop, because those things are coming in, you're waiting on reply, you expect immediate response. But I also think there are great things to it. My husband and I'll send him, you know, just, I don't know if y'all have the emoticons, the little smiley faces and things like that. And so I'll send him a little kiss or something like that. But it doesn't interrupt his day. You know, it doesn't interrupt his business meeting, but it's just to say,
But wait a minute, are you
you.
like in the front of the house and he's in the back of the house and you start getting texts?
No.
You know, you ain't got that bad yet.
No, I have not
You
gotten
got a
that
ways
bad.
to go then.
I put it
You're
in.
going to be going from little smiley faces to getting your text messages while you're in the back part of the house.
No, after 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the afternoon when he gets home, the phones go on the table most of the
That's
time.
good.
And to send a cute little thing like that, that's fine. What I hate, though, is anything that is good can be perverted. And texting has turned into sexting for some of these teenagers. And that's such a dangerous thing. And putting cell phones in the hands of small children or children that aren't responsible.
Wow.
I mean, we have opened up a can of worms that we did not anticipate, I think, when we started handing children phones, the things that they're sending each other and texting each other.
You can't throw the baby out with the bathwater on.
Right.
You just, I mean, you've got to have parameters. We've got to be parents, but we've also got to be adults.
I think that parents, it helps you to, you know, communicate with your children. Think about when our children are in school and we can't talk with them and the whole day goes by, you know, it's a comfort, I think, you know, for parents to be able to connect with their children. I mean, I'm not saying in the classroom, you know, because that could, you know, be at a disadvantage, you know, when a child turns on and the teacher's talking and, you know, that could be misinterpreted too if the teacher's saying the wrong thing or saying something, you know, maybe taken in the wrong way if they're maybe disciplining the student or whatever. And,
I will tell you this, when we go out to a restaurant, we've got the family together, the first thing we do is put all the cell phones in the middle of the table, stack them up on top of each other. If one rings and they reach for it, they pay the tab.
That's good.
That is good.
That's a media diet. You know,
put that in my mission statement.
Listen, that's good. I was in a restaurant the other day, and the restaurant actually has at the table like a little mobile device where kids can play games. The family, it was a mom, a dad, 3 kids. The 3 kids were on that mobile device playing games, and both of the parents were on their cell phones. And I looked at my husband and said, a lovely family night out there they've got going.
This is not good.
That's a breakdown in communication.
That's a family breakdown.
And instead of enhancing communication.
That's having parameters and boundaries in your life. We've got to have parameters and boundaries in our life. I do think sometimes it is effective for me, especially I can have shorter conversations. I don't have to have that. If I get face to face on the phone with someone and I'm really busy, but there is something I need to let them know, I can't pick up that phone. I'm going to spend 10 minutes on the phone where I can spend 5 seconds sending a text message to let them know. Even praying for someone.
Right.
Oftentimes I'll just say, hey, I'm praying for you this morning. I'm thinking about you.
Yeah, sometimes I just, you know, just thinking about you.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes people just need to hear that, you know, and I think that, you know, it's great. Social media actually bridges that gap, again, for communication when you just need to say hi or hello or I'll talk to you later, I'll get back with you. You know, I think it's important.
It can be good. I think that's why the American Academy of Pediatrics, though, has spoken out and said you really do. They're writing prescriptions for kids now.
Oh, my
to put kids on a media diet so that, you know, there are boundaries, there are parameters so that their brains are not overloaded during the day.
Wow.
Yeah, because the parents aren't doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, it really literally is. Up to a certain age, it's the parents' responsibility, and then when we become adults, we need to act like adults.
This is good. This is good. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Join us.
My kids text